Every post is a signal. Give it fuel. DEX, the social value layer.
And clips that be glowing, insisting on the daily. They bring Bitcoin news, Ethereum, Solana, and stacks another L2, showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat, spotlighting guests and filling up your bag. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stand. From the underworld, the game has arrived, bringing the game to satisfy the hype. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive, scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Pumping the name. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are flat. The leading L2 is making maxes look bad. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are flat. The leading L2 is making maxes look bad. Keeps flowing, and Hunters tools they be showing. The AI guild keeps them in clips that be glowing, insisting on the daily. They bring Bitcoin news, Ethereum, Solana, and stacks another L2, showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat, spotlighting guests and filling up your bag. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stand. From the underworld, the game has arrived, bringing the game to satisfy the hype. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive, scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovating the chain. Letting the community know is the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Stacks is where stacks another L2. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bag. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stack. From the underworld, the game has arrived. Bringing the game to satisfy the hype. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive. Scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovate in the chain. Letting the community know is the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are fat. The leading L2 is making maxis look bad. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are fat. The leading L2 is making maxis look bad. And Hunters tools, they be showing the AI guild keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and Stacks another L2. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bag. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stack. From the underworld, the game has arrived. Bringing the game to satisfy the hype. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive. Scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovate in the chain. Letting the community know is the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are fat. The leading L2 is making maxis look bad. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are fat. The leading L2 is making maxis look bad.
DeOrganized media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The Hunters tools they be showing. The AI guild keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and Stacks another L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bags. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stack. From the underworld, the game master arrives, bringing the games that satisfy the hive. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive. Scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovating the chain. Letting the community know is the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Stacks is where it's at. Fast transactions are fat. DeOrganized media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that.
Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal, Peace Love Music. Just realized I was on mute. I apologize. You don't want the worst thing, worse than a Peace Love monologue, is a Peace Love pantomime. We hate that. We hate that. Good morning, my friends. Welcome. I'm excited. I'm happy. I can't believe it's Thursday. Another week flying by. Looking forward to things to come, even though I know that there's a little bit of consternation in the ecosystem. People are a little stressed. Price action isn't where we were expecting it to be. Things are a little bit challenging. I'm very, very encouraged about all the building going on, all the developing going on, despite the price action. I'm excited about where we are. I'm happy to be here. Friendly reminder, this is a news show. We're providing news and information, some education, some entertainment, but never financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. That being said, I don't know how to do it so that comes up there. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure if there's a way to do it. I just have to do that extra production step. That's okay. We'll handle it. We'll manage it how we have to do it. I wish it could be just a little slicker. It's just, those little things irritate me a little bit. And I'm crazy morning for me already. I woke up a little bit late. Mrs. Peace Love didn't disturb me getting out of bed. I woke up, she was already out of the shower, which usually I try to get in the shower before her because she hurries me up. If she's not hurrying me up, I'm in the shower, I'm watching myself, all of a sudden, I start thinking about stuff because I don't have a phone in front of me. My mind starts going through stuff, and I'm in there for 25 minutes. I'm not done. So got a little bit late start there. And then yesterday was the final deadline for extensions on some of the milestones for some of our D grants cohort 3 projects, and I had to review a project this morning. That took a little bit of extra time out of my mode, and it's just been catch up on that. Plus, our washing machine died last week, so we had a delivery came through while I was doing all of this stuff as well. So we got a new washing machine delivered this morning, and all of that before the news. Crazy. So let's take a look at the numbers. Bitcoin is actually just dipped down under 66K. Over 60K, by the way, in my opinion, is okay. I think it might test that bottom number where it went down to. That's what it likes to do. It usually sets a bottom, retest back up. Oh, I can't make it past this. We're going to go back and test that bottom again. So if we hold that 60K range, we'll be okay. If not, could have a leg down. Who knows? This is why we always tell you not to invest money you cannot afford to lose. Because if you need the money next week and price action doesn't do what you want it to do, what are you going to do? You've lost money. That's how that happens. You need to spend that money, and now you don't have it. You have less of it. So you're going to have to capitulate at a lower price. And that's what happens. People investing money they cannot afford to lose is why the price action is so volatile on crypto. Let's take a look at the rest of the numbers here. I'm rambling because I'm frazzled because I've had too much on my plate this morning already. I got a doctor's appointment I'm not feeling good about because I was not eating well, especially around the holidays, and my A1C is probably not going to be what my doctor wants to see. Stocks coming in at 24 cents. And our top 3 gainers in the last 24 hours are not the Leo coin we love, but Unisted Leo, PaxG, and Tether Gold. Not a lot, actually. It's a red morning, guys. It's definitely a red morning. So we'll see how that goes. Fear and Greed is in extreme fear still at 11. This is usually not a bad time to be accumulating in projects that you have high conviction on. Not fly-by-night lottery tickets, but high conviction. Oh, man, really? Am I seeing that right? We got Bolu in the house, I think, going to join us for the conversation this morning. I love that. Love that. Let me get through this news. All right. So Ledden raises $188 million with first Bitcoin-backed bond sale in asset-backed market. Ledden, I don't know what Ledden is, by the way. Ledden I haven't had time to research it. Ledden has successfully raised $188 million through what's being described as the first Bitcoin-backed bond issued in the asset-backed securities market. And that's very, very interesting. Unlike ETFs, which provide price exposure, this structure directly collateralizes fixed income instruments with BTC. That's really cool. The move represents a deeper integration of Bitcoin into traditional capital markets and could open the door for institutional grade credit markets anchored to digital assets. Very cool. If the model proves durable, we may see broader adoption of BTC-backed structured products, potentially expanding liquidity channels beyond spot and derivatives markets. This is a very interesting thing. It's not a small issue. Again, I'm not sure what Ledden is, but the concept is cool, very cool, and it's actually going to expand demand for Bitcoin, I think, if it catches on. Very, very cool. Polymarket's lawsuit could decide who regulates U.S. prediction markets. A developing lawsuit involving Polymarket has determined which U.S. regulator has authority over blockchain-based prediction markets. At stake is whether these event-driven markets fall under the CFTC or other regulatory bodies. The decision could set precedent for how tokenized political, economic, and financial prediction instruments are treated under U.S. law. As prediction markets grow in influence and capital participation, clarity here will impact where liquidity flows and whether U.S.-based platforms can compete globally. This is a big deal. Pay attention, and if you have opinions, never hurts to reach out to your representatives in Congress. Let them know that you support crypto, you support prediction markets on crypto, and whoever the regulator is, you want it to be functional and not heavily restrictive. Let your congressman know. Robinhood's L2 testnet hits 4 million transactions in the first week, CEO says. Robinhood's Layer 2 testnet reportedly processed 4 million transactions within its first week of operation, signaling meaningful scale in early testing. Who knows where those transactions came from? The brokerage's move into L2 infrastructure suggests ambitions beyond simple crypto brokerage, potentially into consumer-facing on-chain finance. If Robinhood successfully deploys scalable, low-cost settlement rails, it could accelerate mainstream retail adoption and further merge traditional brokerage interfaces with decentralized back-end infrastructure. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Kind of making their own base chain, maybe. I have no idea what they're building it on. I suspect it's not very decentralized or open source. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of base chain, Coinbase CEO says quantum computing is a solvable issue for crypto. And if you follow us, you know that we've had a couple of conversations about this, and we are also agree. This is obviously a solvable issue. It's not if we can solve it. It's just if we can get everyone on board for the right solution, the same solution, and implement it before it's a problem. Because once it's a problem, kind of like past the opportunity to implement it. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong stated that quantum computing risks to crypto are manageable and solvable through cryptographic upgrades over time, while quantum breakthroughs remain a long-term risk factor. The industry has already begun discussing post-quantum migration strategies. The key point, vulnerabilities would not appear overnight without warning. I don't know about that. Instead, gradual upgrades and protocol adjustments would likely mitigate exposure. The conversation underscores crypto's need for adaptive cryptographic resilience as computing evolves. I wouldn't underscore the potential for something to develop rapidly overnight, so to speak. It could become a hairy situation. I think solving it proactively rather than reactively is important. So we should focus in that direction. Zora launches attention market on Solana. Zora has expanded to Solana with the launch of its attention market, introducing a model where creator engagement becomes monetizable infrastructure. The multi-chain move reflects broader industry trends where distribution and liquidity increasingly follow user attention rather than chain loyalty. By expanding beyond Ethereum, Zora positions itself within a faster, lower cost environment aimed at scaling creator native monetization tools. Attention as programmable capital may become a dominant narrative in Web3 media economies. Attention as a programmable capital may become a dominant narrative in Web3 media economies. Kind of like what we're trying to do here to a degree. If you haven't, by the way, and you're watching right now, go check out DeOrganized.com. We do have a V0.02 or whatever we're calling it website. More to come. We are in very beta phase. There's a buggy and we know it, but we'd love some feedback. Simple Stacks wallet connection to set up your account. Creator account upgrade, which is free. Just don't want to force everyone to have that dashboard. So there's a creator dashboard. If you are doing shows, spaces, content, whatever, we will have more growing tools for creators to be able to manage content, distribute content, reach their audience, and engage in a new meaningful ways that aren't currently available in the market. And that's what we're doing here. Last couple of items. AIBTC working group meeting was on Tuesday. I didn't get to cover this yesterday because I got sidetracked by some other stuff, but the AIBTC working group shared its latest meeting recap outlining coordination between AI systems and Bitcoin aligned infrastructure via Stacks. Conversations focused on AI agents interacting with Bitcoin native settlement layers and future SBT integration. Also, and you guys can read about this on the Stacks forum. Hero's been doing these amazing recaps, by the way. We love them. We're really excited about that. Also, if you guys haven't heard, StacksPot has gamified the interaction with stacking on Stacks. So traditional stacking, you lock your stacks up, you earn yield and Bitcoin rewards. It's right around 6 or 7%, I think, right now. I'm not sure exactly what the current stacking reward is. It might even be closer to 10%. But what StacksPot is doing is it's creating a stacking pool that people can put their stacks in, and then one winner out of the pool will receive, I think it's 90% of the rewards for the pool. So you can, if you were going to stack your stacks, you could put your stacks in this pool here. That is the current open one. It just opened yesterday. There's only 3 people in it, so there's lots of opportunity to get in. It's 21 STX. You're not actually spending the STX. You're just locking it into a stacking pool. So you will actually maintain your STX. It doesn't cost you 21 STX. You're just putting it into a stacking pool. And out of that, there's 100 entrants. So once the pool fills, you have 2,100 STX in there. One person in the cycle will get 90% of that staking reward, pay it out to them. Everyone else doesn't get the yield, but they still maintain their 21 STX. So it's like a risk reward model. It's kind of like a lottery almost, except for you're not risking anything but your potential rewards for stacking. And you can always go stack, but you'd be hard pressed to find a pool that'll let you stack just 21 STX. Here you have an opportunity to stack 21 STX and possibly get the reward of 2,100 STX. That's at stackspot.app. So check it out now. We're really excited about that. Huge shout out to Crypto Smith, Crypto Dude, the team behind a bunch of projects in the Stacks ecosystem, BoostX, Cryptonauts, Derupt social platform, a bunch of stuff going on with those guys. So really excited about that. Again, I do want to remind everybody before we bring on the homies, Bitflow is the top DEX on Stacks because they allow you to trade USDC, STX, BTC, Stacks, tokens, runes, and more all in one place, and they aggregate the best swap rates across the ecosystem. You also have some really interesting dynamic liquidity market maker options coming online very soon with the HODLMM that'll actually give us near 0% slippage on swaps and liquidity pool participation. So go check them out, bitflow.finance. It is the place to start if you're looking to trade on Stacks. And you know what? I didn't look at, well, we'll save Tenero for tomorrow because I'm not sure what the market's going to look like anyway. I haven't looked at it. Probably best to wait until tomorrow. Let me bring on the homies. We got GP.
GM.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's GP.
How you doing today, brother?
Doing good. My spirits are high, man. I got the high frequency vibes. I'm keeping
As
loving.
always, that's why we keep you around, ready?
Hey,
Hey, Bruce in the house. Bruce is not supposed to be on the bed. He's like, did somebody say high frequency vibes?
Yeah, Bruce coming in to say good morning too. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's not supposed to be on the bed, but he is. He's tuning in too. He's a good boy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down.
I love you. I love you, GP.
Love you. Hey, what you got going on today?
Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Ninja. Oh, so Ninja went out on a mission. So today is 300 here. So yeah, Ninja is gonna come through a little later. You know what I mean? Hope you're good, GP. Hope you're good. Peace.
Good morning, Hunter. Good morning, brother.
Right on.
Funniest clip of 2026, calling it now. I don't know, unless you think of another little skit to do. I mean, I
There's
just
a lot of time left, but that was a good one.
yeah.
Yeah. It's doing rounds on my other social, on the other Oh yeah, we got the men's.
Balu, look at that.
Oh, Luke.
What's up, Bolu Pig?
How you guys doing?
Doing well,
Yo,
brother.
what's up,
Good
bro?
to see you. How you doing today, man?
Good to see
How
your
you
face,
guys
bro.
doing? How we came?
Yeah, hanging in there, cranking, building. I know you've been on a little bit of an adventure yourself, relocating, doing some stuff, getting your education leveled up even more so. How are things on your end?
Yeah, things are good. Things are good. Just trying to get everything sorted out before we start growing. And I've just been trying to reset the whole store, reset my PC, reset everything, so I can just get back into it, so I can have more time for myself. Because right now I don't have, so I'm trying to move about. So but hopefully by the end of the week I will be ready for the week or the month of the year.
Right on, right on. You moved to a different state, didn't you?
Not
moves
yet.
happening.
That would be
Not yet.
that would be this weekend.
Prepared. Right on, man. He did not know this guy has been coding and vibe coding and learning the new processes as well. Peace. So you guys should definitely link up. He's been working on some really cool stuff. A chat bot to show off the whole ecosystem, diving into the lore of different projects and, showing the new users around the blockchain. So really, really cool stuff that he's been working on. And just sent me over his GitHub. I'm going to have to dive into it later today and, see what it's looking like, man. I was talking with Blockface yesterday about all of this AI stuff. Well, you were there too, Peace. Hunter, you were also there. We were all talking about AI and how these new
That was
innovations
in the Zest Town Hall. That's every Wednesday at noon, by the way, guys.
Yes, the Zest Town Hall. We were
That's
kicking
where the
it.
conversations happen. You guys miss out if you're not there. Alpha
was really
happens.
It was a great conversation. You know, and I think that we're gonna do a vibe coding session and maybe get you know, Claude set up on my new machine, and uh, you know, I can start my vibe coding journey too. You guys have been always you know, encouraging me to do more and have inspired me to maybe start my vibe coding journey too. I don't want to get left behind, right? And it just seems like the norm nowadays, right? To stay
Definitely
ahead of
don't
the
want to get left behind, GP. You need to catch up. I'm making apps over here. Bolu's making apps. Hunter's making clips all the time. No, I'm just kidding. You're doing great. You put GP's all over the place. He can't be left behind. But I do
GP can be left behind, yo. He's the type of guy that if you tell him something, he goes and research it further, and then he comes back teaching you some of the things that you don't know about something that you have taught him. So that is what I like about GP. I'm always learning also from him and you for the stuff. So also I'm starting my vibe coding journey. I'm looking for something meaningful to create.
How about a bot, Hunter? What we need is a content manager bot that will manage our content, make these clips for you. Like, you've been doing a great job, by the way, with this clip production, but it takes a lot of time, right?
Yeah, it
does.
So you
I
mean
know, it's time
vibe
intensive.
coding?
Yeah,
Vibe
we gotta
coding
vibe code that.
about.
I'll be happy to work on that with you, by the way, because it's something that I want to build out, and if we can build it out
Yeah.
together, even better. You know, because it'll multifunction a little bit. You know.
Exactly.
I'm wondering what type of edits.
Yeah, let's
in
do it.
AI Well, like transitions, how the cuts will look, like what memes it'll pop up on the screen whenever, you know, what the effects it applies, like what does an
All about
AI
how we
thing
code
look
it.
good?
You know, it's all
Yeah.
about how we so something like that would have to be connected to like a like the Anthropic AI API, like the Claude API. And so you're instead of just paying a monthly fee, Taco Thursday, maybe. Oh my God, it's Ducky and Taco. Thank God we didn't make that market.
Oh shoot, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is what you know, every it's going to become the norm. Everybody's going to have their own agent as the tools continue to get a little bit easier to kind of you know, understand. The more people that know how to navigate these tools, the better. And we need more people teaching the processes. So I think that whenever we talk with Mike a little bit, we're talking with Mike and Toonie tomorrow a little bit about what they've been working on with
Mike and Toonie
X402.
and the engineer. We have actually 2 guests joining us tomorrow morning.
So guys,
Let's
you're telling me that. Yep.
Hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you, Hunter, but we have, I think, I only see a blank screen. I hope he's not having technical difficulties, but we got Mr. Wagme in the house. Wagme, you with us, brother?
GM,
cranking
Wagme.
in the system, Block 9 is happening. Oh, looks like he's having some trouble with his stream service.
It's all right. We'll get it square in just a
We'll
minute.
get it.
I'm glad to see Wagme. I'm glad that it's been a minute since I touched base with Wagme.
Well, the dude's
Wagme's
been
a
heads
great
down for a few months, cranking out some really cool stuff, and I am super excited to see it. I know we're going to get a little teaser today about some of it. He
just even like getting the community in the know about what he's building is good. You know what I mean? I love the idea of being able to like document and also tokenize things on the blockchain through Block 9. It's going to be cool. Really pushing on all fronts and cranking at all cylinders pumping. I feel like there's so much innovation taking place right now. It's kind of hard to cover it all.
It is. But what our brother here, Mr. Wagme, is building right now is really a novel approach to documents management, storage, sharing, signing. Very innovative. I'm excited about it. So hopefully we can get him in here. He might be having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But we will have him on. We're here. We're here for another 50-ish minutes. So if we can get it working today, great. I know he was having some technical difficulties with the name server for some of his stuff, so he wasn't going to be able to show us everything he was expecting to today anyway. But super excited about what he's working on with Block 9. If you aren't, actually get that up here. Oh, where did I? Let me do this. Slightly unprepared. There we go. I don't understand that, but whatever.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh.
Ooh, the blocks capacitor. I love the
capacitor.
branding around.
The blocks capacitor tokenize the world. Block 9 dot encrypted. Dot encrypted, you say? What is that? So Block 9, or it's at Block 9 app on X. You should definitely be following that to keep up with this. And here's the website. Bitcoin for Business. He's got all sorts of stuff, by the way. It's not just file and or document management and tokenization. There's a bunch of stuff he's working on here over at Block 9.
Oh, we see him now. Let's go.
Oh, he's here.
My, what's happening?
Can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us.
He's working on audio right now, but got the visuals down pat. Let's go.
What's up, brother? Can you hear us?
Something is buggy.
The website's so dope, too.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear us?
What's happening?
Wow, looking super clean today, brother. What's up? How you doing?
Fresh. Was hearing him.
Muted. Ooh.
Oh, we lost your audio. It's muting on you. Something in your app is muting your mic.
Let's see.
Now we can hear you.
You're good to go.
Might just be directional, like speaks the mic.
Yeah, I did the I reset all the drivers and it's running a whole bunch of applications. So hopefully we're past all that. So
All right. Right on, right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Not a
Jim,
problem.
sir.
Dude, Wagme, it's been a minute, man. Welcome.
Oh, you're gone again. Your mic's muted again. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he's muted again.
Yep. He's getting his headphones. He's like, I'm going to set this up right. Just forget about this mic. You know, it's really cool. This website is actually one of the best backdrops for a conversation on here because it's dynamic. So that
Right.
that
it
motion
kinda
is
fits
actually
through the
really
stuff.
great for the live stream.
Yeah, the more I wish more websites were kind of built like this because a lot of them are just static.
Right.
I
Well,
feel like the moving like imagery really helps.
Yeah.
it takes a lot to build that
Interactive
out and have
website.
it not bog down the website.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's on
Good.
a
There you go.
Rising Herbert. Let's go.
Yeah,
Give me the
Mr.
Caesar.
Wagman. Hope you're good.
How's it going? How's it going, 300?
What's up, brother? Doing well, man.
What's good, sir? Hope you're well.
Oh yeah. It's about 8 here, so getting the day going. I guess it was at 9 where you're at, Peace, and then 300. Is it probably later afternoon?
Yeah, it's 4 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. It's good to catch up with y'all. Yeah, like I guess probably like 4 or 5 months ago, I got in stacks 2021, 2022, right? I remember seeing 300 around there, and I've always kind of had an idea in the back of my mind because I come from the I worked with medical records management for about 8-10 years, and then I did one of the biggest CRM applications out there. I worked for them for a while and did big deployments with enterprise health systems for a long time. And I've always been curious kind of about like how we could potentially use this with blockchain. So, but there was always this privacy thing you had to solve, like, because everything we put on chain is visible to the world. And if you're going to do documents on chain, you got to figure out a way to keep certain information confidential. And, like 5-6 months ago, had like an aha. And whenever I had that moment, I just went heads down. So build. We lose Peace.
No, I'm here. I'm just playing with the production tools.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to, they change them on us all the time on how they function and everything. I'm just trying to make sure I can get everyone. I'm trying to get everyone in the shot, and also be able to. It's work in progress. It's a work in progress. We'll get there. But oh no, that was the wrong one. Dang. All right, hold on. That should be here.
So maybe we dive a little bit into like the history of Block9. You kind of started as like, consulting services, education, right? Like in when you had your aha moment and how it transformed when you had that moment.
Yeah. So I started Block9 July 2024, and I started it with the goal of being a resource for individuals and also businesses that are looking at getting into blockchain, because I use my family as a guinea pig a lot, and I'm kind of like curious where their level of adoption and understanding is in this space. And because I see clear legitimate business needs that businesses could leverage that'll give them more secure, cheaper, stronger solutions than what they're doing today. So I started the consulting end of it just to be a resource that comes in and teaches them about it. And I even like designed a whole bunch of course curriculums. So where I could do like a workshop that's an hour, or heck, I had one time we went for 6 hours. It just depends on how far someone wants to go down the rabbit hole. And I've been doing that. And then, every now and then there's a business that's like, all right, what can we do with our products and services in this space? So then it's more like a project management focus where you're doing an ongoing engagement with them, and you have to learn a lot about their business so that way you build it the right way in this space. But that's also one of the reasons why I built the solution that I have, because it'll act as a tool for those businesses. You don't have to know the real techie stuff, like how can we be that interface to make it easy to get on the chain? So high level consulting, education, and then the newest thing would be like a solutions arm of stuff, which is one of the things that I'll kind of give you guys a test drive of today. So the main website you're looking at, that's where I keep all like the consulting and education things. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to put the DApp, this app on the main website or stand up its own domain. But one or the other I will. So
I think it's really, really cool. I was actually blessed to be able to sit and go into some of your seminars, right? And one thing I realized whenever I was in one of your seminars is that like we have a lot of terminology in this space that the normies just will not. It doesn't really it's not it doesn't necessarily make sense. You have to sit down, you have to take some time to educate yourself and study.
Yep.
Or, just participate for a long enough period of time. And then eventually you'll learn all the terminology as people kind of talk about it. And the way that you approach teaching a lot of the stuff that, we deal with on a regular basis was very palpable, very, very, it was easy to digest. So I feel like that's something that you did very well. And, and now with your aha moment, it just seems like, you've been heads down grinding and vibe coding. Are you also like using Claude to do some of your building? Like what tools are you using to build out Block 9 right now?
Yeah, I'm using a variety of different ones. When I was in college, I actually started in programming, but I think I only lasted about a semester or two doing that. And then I got on the business management side, but I've always been like intrigued by it, and I've been in the tech space. But with the advent of AI, like this has changed the game. I've been telling people, I'm like, it's the age of the idea guy. Like that's the direction we're going. You just need the ideas and, a little bit of ability to execute, and you can build some crazy things. So yeah, I've been using like a variety of different ones. I've used Grok for some things. I've used Claude. Those are the two predominant ones, and then try to use like the different models that are in both of them. I'm really impressed with Claude, like whenever it comes to like program or like developing programs, because just the structure of it makes it a lot easier. There's some hallucinations out there, and you can ask something 5 times and it can still mess up. So you gotta be careful. Like I had a costly mistake the other day. One of the things I was building, you have to have it generate a hash, and I was buying something on the blockchain. You have to use a hash. Well, it generated the hash wrong, and it burned like $200. So like, there's certain things you definitely need to make sure that. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I was like, can you give me a refund?
Yeah, there's no refunds on crypto. That's part of
that tuition, man.
Yeah.
No clawbacks or nothing. Although maybe this type of technology might offer some kind of options there too.
Oh, the AI. I won't mention the specific one that did it, but it was like, yeah, I messed up. I'm like, yeah, you did.
It's easy to quick to admit, like, yo, dude, I burnt that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So Lisa and I talked about this like a little over a year and some change ago, how the space was going to move from a place where you needed developers and a broad understanding of code and all of this stuff to a place that caters towards the people with the ideas, and that if you have the idea, you can bring it to life through the various tools that are available. So it's really cool to see everybody around me like kind of starting their journey. P started vibe coding, right, and he's been cooking on the DeOrganized site. Balu is building out his own stuff with his chat bot. And I feel like soon it's my time. I got Claude on my old machine, and I'm definitely going to be setting up on my new machine very, very soon. Michael Blockface is going to be we're going to do a session and kind of explore what it looks like together whenever I start my vibe coding journey. And I'm going to bring I'm really excited, dude. It's cool to see all the guys pushing everything, like pushing forward and learning new skills.
Yeah. And Michael, he's an expert. I follow him and listen to all his spaces. He's a wizard at this stuff. And you were right. You were saying something about Block 9 right before that too, on we take for granted like how much we're used to and what we know. That's the same way in the traditional software world as well. But blockchain is a whole new paradigm shift. And as you were just talking about with opportunity, man, like AI opens up opportunity, And I would also say blockchain has opened up opportunity as well. And blockchain has been one of the most overlooked. And now, like blockchain and AI, I think opens up a whole nother world. And, you know, there's going to be people that see it and people that don't. And the people that do see it, I feel strongly, I mean, they're going to be best positioned for the future, because the blockchain, at the end of the day, it's a big giant ledger. It's just a big database. And if you can learn to program a solution on top of that, you get gains in, you know, efficiency, cost reduction. The app that I put together here, I don't have a database. So you're like, your data is your data. You manage your keys, just like how, like with Bitcoin, you know, how we all have keys, we have our seed phrase. Well, your documents have their own keys as well. And then whenever it comes to storage, like the actual core content, like where the meat is on the document, you can choose to push that to like a local thumb drive, or you could have it go to like an IPFS, a file storage on the chain, or also the keys for the document. You'll notice up here in the top right-hand corner, I went ahead and built a plugin because
Sick.
by default, your keys store in your browser, but you know, like if you refresh your cookies or something like that, you lose your stuff. So I had to like think of other ways to approach this. So that way, with creating a plugin, it keeps like an isolated bucket. Now, me personally, like I try to max decentralize as much as I can where I can. So I think doing offline storage is probably going to be the most popular route, because then you can just have like a hard drive plugged into your laptop or whatever. And, you know, kind of be like futuristic about like the movies where people are like, here's the encrypted drive. So, but, you know, there's a couple different routes there. If you want, I can go ahead and give you guys a tour. So,
Yes, please,
Yeah, do
please,
it.
dude. I'm very, very
That's
curious.
what we're waiting for, my man.
Sir.
yeah. So the idea being, the reason why I did this is, you know, you're going to start hearing tokenize. You know, the latest form that we're hearing a lot of that in is like in the forms of stocks or securities and stuff like that. My idea is like a different flavor of tokenization. I want to be able to tokenize information, and information in the most common form is like documents. Steve, you may know like appraisals, right? Yeah. When I just got out of college, I worked in the mortgage industry for about 4 years, so I got real like familiar with that process, the GFEs, the 1003s, all the different applications that come a part of it. And a lot of that stuff we could tokenize in the form of like digital documents. So what does that do for us? One, it's in a digital format. It has structured data and fields. What do you think AI is going to want to use? It's going to want to use the blockchain, because then it can move and then it can aggregate data. And, you know, like if you create a document and like say all the identifiable information, you crypt that, but like certain other fields you want to leave public and leave it on chain, we can have AIs that are looking at the chain holistically and just putting together like the craziest analytics down to the second. Or like think about a business. It's like, all right, we're going to tokenize all our customer survey forms. And then they leave certain elements of it public, like the average rating. Then whenever you look at that business, you're seeing that data against a chain, and you know that it came from certain wallets that are real. And you could be like, hey, look, we're not botting our analytics or anything like that. So I think there's value in putting information on the chain from a source of truth perspective. And the way that, you know, we could accomplish that is, I think, with this idea of tokenized documents. So this is the create page. You'll see on the navigation, there's create, dashboard, viewer, plans, how it works, getting started, about us. One of the things I did with NFTs, I'm using them as subscriptions. So I'm going to have like a bucket of different NFTs. And if you hold that one in your wallet, it'll open up certain features in the platform. And then whenever you connect and you hover over, you'll see your specific NFT and the information that presents it. This is my local demo lab that I have. So I have the like different users in here. So as you can see, I'm simulating a user now that has a certain NFT. And then you can see I have my entity4.encrypted name, something I made called a profile NFT, the plan, and then storage. And then there's even features built from like a business perspective to where if you have on the business NFTs, you get seats. So what does that mean? That means like, say you got 10 employees, you could do like a starter entity NFT, and then your discounting and your features, as long as you add them to your roster, they're going to inherit that discounting structure in that functionality. So I try to get like real creative with NFTs. And that's one of the things like on the consulting stuff that I've done on like businesses, there's tons of ways that you could leverage this type of tech. And it's transparent, it's immutable, all those other benefits we love about blockchain.
So have you looked at Zenitron's encrypted NFT SIP?
I saw one like a little bit back ago. What I'm doing with this one, I think, is a little bit different. Maybe he can clarify some of the points, but like I don't have a centralized server that handles like the encryption, the decryption side. When you create a document, you're using your local encryption on your web browser. So what that means is not even me. I don't even have access to the keys to your documents. Only you do. So a lot of solutions out there, they do it where they have like a centralized server to encrypt and decrypt. I think that's what that proposal was. I'm not entirely sure.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, and it was so that you have to basically go to the website to be able to decrypt the encrypted components.
Okay.
But only you who holds that NFT and engages with the website can decrypt and encrypt, or decrypt access the encrypted information.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm sure that somebody in order for it to be on a server, it probably has to. Someone has access to that information, I would imagine, even if it's encrypted. Unless I don't really know how it works. I only know the theory behind it, so I'm not sure how it functions.
Yeah, I'd have to ask him. I know in the setup that I have, this uses your local browser, so it encrypts there, and then it stores the keys in the browser. Now, there's potential vulnerabilities there. If you're not backing up your keys, you could lose your keys. So that's why I built the plugin.
So it'll only work on the machine that I encrypted it on.
It depends where the keys are at. So when you create the document, by default, it stores it in your browser. Now, for example, the web browser that I have here, I'm designing it to where after you create it, you could also push it to this plugin. So then that stores your keys in like an isolated bucket. Because if you just leave it in the regular browser, you know how like whenever you refresh cookies and stuff like that,
you
run the risk of losing that. Or if you get like malware, So I wanted to create another route as well to kind of put that in its own private bucket. Now, whenever you do browser plugins, I want to say there is a data cap to where, how you can sync your browsers across your devices so you can have access to everything. I want to say that does apply, but there's a data cap on how much storage you can sync across devices. But the other thing that you can do too is you can download offline. So if you just put a thumb drive in, Steve, or you do an external hard drive, you can push those keys to a device that you have, and then wherever you take that device with you, you got your keys. And then, as I mentioned, and I'll show you guys, whenever you're creating a document, actually, let's just jump in. We'll go through and do that. So I have DApp templates. So these are templates that I put together. And then there's also presets, and then shared templates and employer templates. That's the real cool stuff. But you'll be able to pick, by, you want like a business one, organization, community, say a business, and then it gives you categories, personal identity, access, legal, so on and so on, say legal. And then it gives you more default templates that I've built in. And the way to think about a default template is it's got certain fields that make up that kind of document. You could also go up here and search. So I'll just do coupon. And then there's a little notice that says, hey, each field you got to toggle. You know, if you want to leave this field public, it's going to be visible on the blockchain. If you leave it as encrypted, it's going to encrypt that field and then, you know, push that to your local storage, like your device that's plugged in. Or you can also set up something with IPFS to where it's storing your encrypted content in IPFS. So then you get, you know, more convenience with, you know, being plugged into the web that way. But, you know, there's different camps in blockchain and crypto. It's like, I want everything local, you know, like the max decentralization. I think like they'll probably use more of the offline where they store it on their devices. And then here's your coupon template. And then as you see on the right-hand side, there's little toggles. So by default, there's certain fields, a part of every document that I call like core metadata, because you can't encrypt everything. You know, the chain needs like some source of record.
Right. So it knows what what documents it's referring to.
Yep.
Right.
So like I had some fields that are locked. Like it wants a title field. So what I have it do here is I have it like custom generate one. So it says coupon number 2. But if you want, you can change that. I just try to do like a big generalized one since it is a public field, but leave it open to people to change that. Now on the more looser fields to where it's not like necessarily, you know, the metadata that's needed for on chain, like here discount value. If we want to leave that public, come over here, switch over to public. Like say, you know, we need a 5% discount that'll go here. And then we want it to go ahead and go to June 2026. And then when this would get created, the public would go to the encrypted side, or excuse me, the public would go to the chain side, and then the encrypted would go to the encrypted side.
So
And
encrypted
then-
goes into it's IPFS. Is that what I understand correctly? Or where's
So-
that data?
Yep. So how it's structured today, you'll pick how you want to store your document. The way to kind of think about it is public. You're picking a place when you say public because that's going on chain. But whenever you click encrypted, you have multiple paths. Do you want that to be locally on like an external device, like an external hard drive? Or do you want that to go to IPFS? Because if you go to IPFS Pinata today and you sign up there, they give everybody 1 gigabyte of free storage, which you could store a lot of docs
Sure.
on 1 gig. But then they also have plans that are like 5 terabytes. So if you are an actual business and say you're like a mortgage company, you're doing a lot of data, you could get a 5 terabyte plan and store a lot of stuff on there. So to answer your question, the encrypted side could be locally, or you could push it to like an IPFS too.
Cool. Oh man, this is so. Just to understand, like this is creating. You're creating. Let's just take the coupon example. So
Yep.
let's say we have something where we're offering a discount on services from DeOrganized platform.
Mhm.
We create a coupon in here,
Yep.
and then anyone we want to issue that coupon to,
Mhm.
it creates an NFT. It sends it to them. They have to
Yep.
have the NFT to get access to all of the data. They get also access to the encrypted data.
But you would actually give them the NFT, so they would have the NFT, kind of like how in today's traditional world you have that piece of paper, right? Well, we're digitizing that, so they would have the NFT, but it would show that it was created by DeOrganized Media, though. On
And it would
chain.
only, and so the NFT would be how our system on our website, they would have to hold the NFT in their wallet, that part of their account, in order for them to receive the discount. That's
Correct.
how we would verify that they qualify.
Yeah.
But the NFT doesn't have all that. But the NFT, the encrypted data protects us from people being able to duplicate the NFT and create a fake coupon, maybe.
Well, not even the encrypted side. You could leave everything public because nobody can reproduce that DeOrganized Media .encrypted created it.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
we would be able to. That's all right. Interesting. Very interesting.
And by the way, I even made like specific workflows around coupons and NFTs, because what's to stop somebody from trying to use that coupon 5 times in a row? So I have a mechanism, whenever a coupon is scanned, you can mark it as used. And then the same way with tickets, say, you know, like one of my brothers has a speakeasy, and he's having a concert, and he issues tickets on it. I also had it set up whenever they're coming in, there's a kiosk mode on a QR scanner where you can scan. It shows that. And then there's even like a check-in, check-out. So say
That's
like
very cool. That's something similar to what Trip was working on ticketing. And we had a generally functional same thing. When the ticket got issued, it created a QR code along with it that could be scanned to verify that they held the ticket. And it was the same idea, like a concert ticket, where it would also be kind of serve as your POAP, proof of attendance. And then also, like, the way that could be used down the line too is you could always, like, anyone that holds any of my fans or my audience members that holds this NFT, well, maybe they automatically qualify for a bonus track when we release our next album because they went to a live show or something like that.
Yep. Wait till we probably touched on 1% of I have. There's about 80 plus features in here that make that whole experience even like way more robust too. So how I have the document set up too is you'll notice there's sections. There's header, then there's main document fields. Think of header and main as like the portions where it's like public and encrypted. And then there's also entity admin. So this is more on like the business feature side. So you could create a document and you're going to say, hey, after I create this document, it's going to go to another party. I want to retain audit access even though I'm giving this to another party. Or I want to say, hey, the owner can share that document once they receive it, but they can't edit it or anything like that. They can't do no amendments or something. So I even built some administrative functions there. And then on that storage side, you know, whenever we talked about like doing offline with the encrypted drive or the IPFS. And by the way, whenever someone creates a .encrypted name, I have a big shared pool, but I mean, you can only do like a couple documents. So the easiest way to like get in here and really tinker whenever we launch is to go to IPFS Pinata, sign up for the free 1 gig plan, and then connect it. And then you'll be able to, you know, go a lot more crazy with it. And then there's also signatures. So this is where, again, we're using that blockchain stuff. Like today, what can people do? They can do a multi-signature wallet, right? So here I could say a recipient, meaning whenever I create this, I'm going to go ahead and send it to GP. That NFT actually transfers to his wallet because he's going to claim it on the site. So that way we're preserving ownership as well. Or we could do a cosigner. And then I put in deadlines here too. Like, do you only want this to be out there for 1 hour for them to sign? And then we measure that by block times, you know, BTC being 10 minutes per block. And then when I talked about that metadata, like the elements that we need to keep record on the chain since it's the big giant ledger, you know, if you wanted to peek at those, you could. You can see like, here's the transaction hash, created at, the namespace, the document type, status, IPFS TID, which is Pinata, the storage, fee hash, required signatures. It's a lot of the big generalized components of the document that help with that going on chain. And then there's a terms and agreement, because I definitely want to be transparent with everybody. Like when you create documents on a blockchain, they're on chain. Nobody can call back what you put on there. So you always want to make sure between your encrypted and your public fields. Now, one of the things that I have on my radar to also kind of tinker with, because I have this idea of templates to where you could create a template that locks the state being encrypted or public just so people don't mess up too. I think there could be some value in that in case people are going through and typing real quick and then they create it and they're like, oh crap, I left that one public. That way we can lock those states. But that's why the term stuff is there. And then, you'd be able to check out and, kind of preview the structure of things where, hey, I have my public visible, and then, you know, these fields are encrypted. And we'll jump over to dashboard. And what you could see right here from dashboard, let me grab a user again. I have some mock data that should populate for us. So at the very top, if I had like my own IPFS bucket in, then I could see how many documents, the data storage, and then some more granular activity as well. You know, I have where you meant a storage connector NFT. So then you'd be able to come in here and plug in your, I think it's called a JWT, which is like an API key, to where then it'll point your storage. So whenever you create documents, it's going to your IPFS on that encrypted content side. And then on your dashboard view, you see your different documents here. So this is where, like, here, I'll make it small. So, you know, if we were on mobile, let's see. I could then go through here and see my different documents that are a part of my repository that I have. Some of these actually I should be able to. Here we go. So say, Steve, we're getting ready to go to a concert. I got my event ticket. I want to fast share this. We're at the door. And I show my QR code. They scan that, and they validate it against the chain that is real, and that it also was, you know, created by whoever permissioned that. If you wanted to view the document, if you want to do a time lock share, to where you say, hey, I want them to see this, but I want them to see it for 3 days. What else we got? Backup key. So as I mentioned, each document has a key. So, you know, if you wanted to back up that one key, you could do that. Also amendment, because sometimes agreements change over time. So that way you could do an amendment and then it links to the audit trail.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes, you know, if you lose your keys, you lose your docs. So also the ability to reissue. So if you created a document for somebody, they lost it, you need to reissue it. This little arrow is the send claim. So this is where I'm an entity, I create documents, and certain people on the other end have to pick it up. So by putting in, you know, their address, their .encrypted name, and then I also built some email functionality, so that way you can send email notifications too. Like, hey, you have a .encrypted document to claim, and then they click that and it takes them to the site. So idea being there, whenever you create one that you can claim, the ownership of the NFT is transferring. Now, I'm not saying this is set up for this today, but kind of more the vision side. Like one of the problems that I want to solve, like everybody especially in the States knows, when you go to the DMV, it can take a while. So, you know, think about like how you go get your title, right? You have to show that it came from an entity, and then they give you a document. So it's an immutable document. If by tokenizing that, you could have it to where like DMV.encrypted creates a certain tokenized document, goes to you, you claim it, and then the ownership of the document transfers to your wallet. So, you know, like we could be digitizing our file cabinets, and then I have stuff with me, or like, you know, one of the things I like to do in my spare time is go fishing or hunting or something like that, right? And you have to have tags or your fishing license. And it's like, where the heck did I put that? Well, I could have that digitized on me, because if there's one thing you have on your body all the time, it's your phone. So having all that right there secured by the chain. I mean, there's so many things. It could be customer survey forms. You know, like whenever you go buy a refrigerator, you get that warranty, right? Like a year or two later, who the heck knows where they put that stuff? We could have that all in our web wallet. What else? We'll jump into the profile. So one of the other things is a .encrypted profile. So this is linked to, say, like your IPFS storage. I can see my name and I hop in, my profile status, if I have one of those individual or entity NFTs or my storage NFT. And then this is what you're probably going to really like, Steve and GP and everybody else. You know how I showed you the stock templates, like coupon, agreement, it has the fields? I want to be able to give you guys the ability to create your own templates.
Yeah, of course, right? That's right. We might have a novel use case for a document.
Yeah, so like here we're gonna do 300's his recipe, so whenever he's cooking. So
Ooh,
so we have the recipe.
Like it.
You can make that template shareable. So once he creates that, other people can use that to mint those documents. One of the things I've already built out the functionality, but you know, I would want to pass through legal and stuff before I would take it live, is do a revenue share program. So if someone creates a template that they're out there using to, you know, tokenize others, and people are using that template, they can earn a portion of that documentation creation fee. So when I was talking about like header main fields and stuff, you can see I have all the different fields that are in the solution right here. I have over 700 fields I've built into this. So if he's doing, you know, a cooking recipe, we could say amount, and then it brings up all the different amount ones. And as you see, it's got the on-chain tags. Say that one. You want it to be a required public, required encrypted, or default encrypted. You want it to go in the header or the main fields. Let's put that in the header. And then let's say, I don't know, attribute. And then we have one field in header, one field in section 2 main fields. Or AGP, maybe you're doing a game item, right? You're trying to tokenize elements that are part of a game. Trying to think of one that might be in there. Attributes, one that you could do. You could say, hey, this is +5 mana or damage or something like that. Because you're just creating the fields, the structure of the tokenized document. And then here is that, you know, a lot of the base stuff, like the entity admin, the storage, that was the other sections of the document. And then you also, you need your system metadata. So I have that as always on, the terms and the checkout. And then you would create your template. And then once you have your templates, you can see them down here. And then if you made it shareable, you have a shareable tag. And then you can push that to someone else so they can start tokenizing it. Where I think that this could be like really empowering for people and businesses is, you know, we all have different talents and unique abilities and experts at certain industries. You could be creating tokenized templates that are specific to your industry and then building an actual like app or solution or process around that. Like think about the mortgage process. If you knew certain disclosures or whatever that's in there, and you have the rights to that stuff, you could tokenize that. And then whenever you embed that, I mean, the creation's instant. You can send it in seconds. How much does this cost compared to the traditional status quo? You know, you could build processes from a tokenized perspective. The tickets, for example, like, I mean, $5. Create a ticket. $5.
So just like one thing I think that this could be just an idea. Like we're talking about, we're talking about building an AI agent that'll help us with clip production. And so we build that tool, and then we can kind of like, we could use this to create access tokens so that when we want to, I mean, it actually can probably even work in X402 some capacity as well, where we have the application available, but it's gated so that you have to have the NFT in order to access it. So then the transaction in X402, somebody has an agent that is trying to get access to this tool for them. The agent would then have to acquire the NFT, have it in the agent's Bitcoin wallet, which would now is a thing, and then the agent can access the clip tool.
Yep. Yeah, you're using an NFT as like a subscription mechanism. By tokenizing, you're showing that you have immutable ownership of whatever digital token of information. So you can get real creative.
And it can
And
even be built in. It can be programmed into the NFT ownership levels of access to the tool. Like, so they only get maybe certain amount of
Yeah.
credits on the tool based on that NFT. And if they want to upgrade, they have to upgrade the NFT, and that can be all programmatically done.
what you would do is just like how I have my individual and entity NFTs that act as subscriptions. You have certain metadata that's aligned to a specific field on that NFT. So like I have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know if you have a level 1, you get a 10% discount. You have a level 2, you get a 20%. So based off of what metadata is on the NFT, which is on the chain, your front end will apply parameters based off of that metadata.
So it's platform specific, obviously. Like, you have to have it. The platform side has to also be able to interact, like, know all the logic of the NFT.
You could get creative because you could build the platform to where it's just a window into the chain too. So you could type 10% on the metadata field, and then whenever it shows it through the front end, the actual website, it would show 10% because it's just feeding off the chain too.
It's pulling it from a chain hook to confirm the depth.
It's all like the best. It's kind of like the consulting stuff I do. Like, it's sitting down and understanding the product or the service, and then like saying, hey, here's like the 3 different routes, angles that you could go at this by. And then, figuring out which route allows you to expand that functionality in the future. And then, which route also answers the need that is there today too. So a couple different ways. Like I said, how I did it is I have level, and then you could do 1 through 5. And then based off of what levels on that NFT metadata, my front end automatically recognizes that and applies the discount to it.
So one thing, we're a ways away. I'm not even sure that we're going to do it this way yet. But one thing we're looking at is creating a point system on DeOrganized on the new website, where we create certain incentive. We create incentives for certain behaviors that we want to promote in the ecosystem, like following creators or engaging with some of our marketing partners, projects in certain ways. And, they would earn points, and monthly points. People that earn points would get a revenue split out of our ad revenue on the platform based on their percentage of so you have a total points earned on the platform, a leaderboard person that gets 10% of the total point, like the top leader. Let's say they were really active, they got 10% of the total points pool, they get 10% of the revenue split that comes out of that. This could be something that we could actually apply to their accounts, where they get an NFT that tracks their points. So when they earn points on the platform, can these NFTs can be changeable or can be dynamic to some degree.
Yeah, like an audit trip.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can actually on chain apply points. They get the points assigned to their NFT, and then for that month, it knows that they've gotten those points. Is that something we could do?
So with that specific type of use case, I imagine there would be a way. I think there would be a more efficient way than doing like an NFT and then applying points. I would almost look at it from like a hybrid approach, to where it's like the NFT for the membership, and then you actually tokenize the points, kind of like how people trade memes, except it's not a meme coin. It's a point system. So that way it'd be a hybrid approach between the NFT and like a SIP10 token. I think that would, and I think the Rue community did something like that, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit ago. Like they did something to where like there was a token element in a hybrid NFT.
Well, they did have so the Invader NFTs, the Stacks Invader NFTs were a quote unquote DMT on Stacks project, so that It just had to do with how they were generated, though. I don't know that they're well, no, they are dynamic to it. Like, because remember, you were like creating backgrounds that would change in the NFT data and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Right,
there's
you can change the data.
so that's what you would suggest? Maybe that would be the technology. It doesn't necessarily need the encryption model.
Yeah, I'm thinking I would want to look at the project more holistically, because the more detail around it helps you set up for the future. Because otherwise, the thing that you have to keep in mind is whenever you're building on chain, once you put something on chain, it's on chain. So you want to make sure and set up the architecture of whatever product or service you're building that it has upgradable paths as well. So you don't pigeonhole yourself into like, can't really do much with this. You want to make sure that you can build upon it. But I'm from an initial, like, gut instinct, I'm thinking something like that would be like a hybrid approach to where it's an NFT and like a token that's associated only to that NFT. Like maybe you can't even buy these tokens. Like you have to have this NFT and then they earn the tokens. I bet that's probably the best route for something like that. But then again, you could do it to where, you're taking like an amendment approach to it as well. But I think that would be like more manual. And it would also be probably like very taxing on like compute resources, because then you're always checking the chain for the latest amendment to something. So there's like a couple different angles to look at something like that by, like, what's the most efficient way? Which one brings the best user experience where it's not like clunky? There's a couple different ways to skin that cat. So
cool, brother. There's so many cool things here, and I would actually want some educational sessions to play around with it. I love what you're working on, man. I thank you so much for joining. Normally I can actually normally I don't have a hard stop at 10, but I actually have a doctor's appointment at 11 that I have to get to. So I don't have a whole lot more time, and I would love to. I could talk to you about this for another hour, I'm sure. Well, we will absolutely have to have you back on here. Anything else we need to see before we wrap?
So there's a ton more in here. I'm happy to do follow-up sessions. Happy to do follow-up sessions. One of the other things to think about, airdropping. That way you could airdrop tickets. We already have a mechanism built in for that. This is the viewer page. So if you're on the other side, it's where you pull up the QR scanner, scan it, boom. There's also a rebinding process. So one of the novel mechanisms that I put in here is whenever you create a tokenized document, it's impressing your .encrypted name and your wallet address to that document. So it binds it to it. All kinds of stuff. So happy to show people more when we get bigger windows, and appreciate the time. So.
Yeah, dude. Wagme, it's been a minute, and I'm really glad to see that you've made a lot of progress, dude. This is looking great. You've really been crushing it, man. I did not know how in depth, like how deep you went down the rabbit hole, my friend. And this is looking great, man. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, we're down the rabbit hole. So
let's go, dude.
Yeah, cooking.
Bro, this is like excellent work. I knew you were going to come up with something really cool, but this is beyond expectations, to be completely honest. Like, this is very, very impressive. You should be extremely proud.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
That's the goal.
We definitely will. We're definitely looking forward to having you come back and talk more with us about this. And,
I love it. My goal is to empower people. So, we can use the blockchain in so many different ways. Many times save us a whole bunch of money, increase our ownership, sovereignty, all that stuff. So happy to talk more.
Build the change. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Wagme.
Yeah, man. Awesome stuff. Appreciate it. What else we got going on for the rest of the day, guys?
We got 300 on the big screen. Let's go. Today at 11 a.m. ET, I will be. Balu is actually going to be helping me host the weekly Stacking DAO Pokemon tournament, and at 12 p.m. I'm going to be doing an impromptu screen share in the Zest Discord. I'm going to be cooking some memes with the Zester. I'm going to be turning them into CZ, Michael Saylor, all Tim Draper, all of the known big names from around the space, and just having some fun to blow off some steam. The markets are in chop and kind of going sideways, and I figured I'd do a little impromptu get together and have some fun, do something fun with the community. So jump into the Zest Discord, jump into the Stacking DAO Discord, get activated, get mobilized. Let's go.
Right on. Don't forget, there's also Be Pepe space at 11 a.m., which I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into in the doctor's office. I'll probably try to join and see if I can, but
you're always multitasking, dude. Go take care of yourself and handle the biz, man.
So there's two things. Number one, I'm supposed to go get a blood work and a urine analysis every time, and I forgot that I was supposed to fast, and I didn't do it ahead of time. And usually I just don't drink anything but black coffee that morning. Usually it's not as late of an appointment either. But I take a morning immunity booster shot. It's a Sujo or Soju or something like that. Is the
Soju? Yeah.
They taste all right. They're a little, but they do the trick. And I'm feeling much better. I'm not as pale. I'm not as stuffy this morning. I still sound a little funky, but mostly like back to my old self. But I had that.
I get
morning.
Boosted up.
I'm boosted up, but I cannot. So I know my A1C is going to be high because I did terrible during the holidays. I'm just getting back into the mode of being a little bit more managing my diabetes properly. So I'm a little anxious about my doctor's appointment, if I'm being honest. So anything that can distract me.
Anxious.
Yes.
My prayers are always with you, my friend, and I'm sending you all the love and all the high frequency vibes.
Yeah,
man.
All right. Another excellent episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our amazing friends at Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting. I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media. Thank you all for tuning in. Huge shout out to WagMe. We had Bo and Pete. We got Tinderly making a brief cameo at the end of the show. Love you guys. Hana GP.
We got Ninja.
We got Ninja in the house. Let's go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll have some content running throughout the day. And as always, show love and be kind to each other. You'll have a blessed rest of your day. Smile and wave, boys. Some of my buttons aren't working. No, they are. They're working. Peace out.
DeOrganized Media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI.
'Cause AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and stacks another L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us a views. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bags. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold, mic, and let us know where you stand. From the underworld, the game master arrives. Bringing the games that satisfy the hive. Hunters come running and keeps them alive. Spreading awareness and helping explain why stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Ethereum, Solana, and stacks another L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bags. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold, mic, and let us know where you stack. From the underworld, the game master arrives. Bringing the games that satisfy the hive. Hunters come running and keeps them alive. Scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovating the chain. Letting the community know it's the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Fast transactions are fat. Where it's at. The leading L2 is making maxes look back. DeOrganized Media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news.
Ethereum, Solana, and stacks and other L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up